Well, a lot of people have obviously been very welcoming of a Trump return. But in the wake of that return and his visit to California, and obviously those wildfires in Los Angeles continue to rage, but there are moves afoot in California for California to secede from the United States. Now, what's the process here, and does it have a snowball's chance?
Well, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and a lot of Texans want to Texit. They want us to secede from America. And now that Donald Trump's in power, I don't agree with that. But if California wants to go, California, see you later. I mean, they're doing all kinds of weird gender reassignment surgery for kids. They let biological males compete against biological females, all because they put on a dress for a few periods during class. So, California's gone so crazy and they're so woke that at this point, let them have their little crazy euphoria where nothing works and everything gets burned down and they can't even, fill up their water reserves to stop a fire. So go ahead. If California wants to become its own country, I'll just let them basically destroy themselves from the inside out.
Is there anything you'll miss, though, if California goes?
Well, of course. I mean, California is a beautiful state. Don't get me wrong. California is an epic place. It used to be kind of the pinnacle of cool. Everybody used to like Hollywood until we realized that they're all best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and they're all best friends with Harvey Weinstein, and that Hollywood has lost a lot of its luster that it once had. So California was once a great state, but I mean, just look at it burning down. San Francisco, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, is covered in, human excrement. I mean, so this is not a joke. This is a serious thing that fire hydrants don't have water to put out fires. So California did this to themselves. And until they make some major changes, it's only going to keep heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it has got that failed state whiff to it, doesn't it? Now, under the Biden administration, there were moves to substantially increase the number of agents working for the IRS. Now, I understand the brakes have gone on, but what's Trump's plan for these new hires?
He needs to get them the heck out of here. We don't need any more IRS agents. IRS, nobody likes the IRS. Just the fact that the Biden administration hired that many, enough to fill up a football stadium, shows you that the Biden administration does not care about American citizens. And we get taxed out the wazoo. So I think Donald Trump realizes that these people have jobs. The previous administration gave them some sort of promise that they were going to hire them, but I don't care about any of that. Donald Trump needs to fire every single one of them. We need less IRS agents, not more, to help in our quality of life here.
Well, and that would definitely fit in very tidily with having a smaller government, which is something that he has absolutely been championing. Now, when I woke up this morning here in Perth, Western Australia, I saw this rather eventful exchange between the US and Colombia over the repatriation of illegal immigrants. What's happened and what's the latest on that? Where do things stand?
Well, you saw the about face from the Colombian president. It's so great. Gustavo buckled under the pressure of Donald Trump, just saying that he was going to raise tariffs. And what's so good about this is that we don't have to go to war with these foreign countries. All we need to do is just put rules and regulations and tax them, and then we can actually solve these problems. You look at all the money that's wasted in the Ukraine right now, fighting that proxy war, just all over the world. We can come to an agreement through negotiation and solve these problems. And you saw with Colombia, that's a perfect example of what Donald Trump's going to do going forward when other countries want to send us all their criminals, want to empty their jails. And when we try to bring them back to their country, they better accept them, or else there's going to be serious consequences when it comes to our geopolitical relations.
And what has been the reaction from some of those other countries in relation to the repatriation of illegal immigrants?
Well, I mean, I think Mexico and you saw Colombia at first, they were a little hesitant, but now they're realizing that Donald Trump is not joking around and that they have to play ball with this new administration. So, they might not like it. They might not want a bunch of criminals coming back to their country that they excommunicated, but we don't want them here in America. And it's not, and Donald Trump says it clearly. He's not anti-immigration. We just need to vet the people that come into our country. And we're not doing that. We're letting in people that have serious criminal history, that have done serious crimes, and that needs to be fixed. And under Donald Trump, these other countries, they're going to realize that America is not playing around when it comes to immigration happening and asylum happening. When you're a criminal, you're not going to be welcome in the United States any longer. And it's a beautiful sight to see.
Now, Alex, it came as no surprise to me, and I imagine it came as no surprise to you, that the CIA has concluded that COVID-19 likely originated from a China lab leak. Now, there are some people who should frankly be ashamed of themselves, and others who are no doubt going through their receipts. It's just another example of the level of rampant stupidity and censorship during COVID, isn't it?
Are you kidding me? And I know you're being sarcastic when you ask me, but this is what makes me so sick about this whole entire thing, is that they knew that this was a virus that got, leaked in China, and that we have had histories of SARS, pneumonia. There's been lots of respiratory illnesses, but because they wanted to push out the vaccine, and it makes me sick, all the people that I lost, people that I love, that weren't able to get proper care because they said that the only remedy was a vaccine. And the only way to get a vaccine without long-term testing was to get it through an emergency use authorization. And you're only able to get that authorization if there's no other remedy. So they lied about the origins of the virus. They lied about fixing the virus. They lied about every single aspect of COVID-19, and they ruined a lot of people's lives. So these people should be held accountable. And I hope, not trying to, cheerlead for Putin, but I would love for Dr. Fauci to get extradited to Russia and face a real trial, because what they did to American people by not giving us any other remedies for pneumonia or the flu, it cost a lot of people and a lot of loved ones their lives, and it just makes me sick.
And there were a lot of us during COVID who asked questions. Those questions obviously were not appreciated. But I do wonder, and I'd be interested in your view on this, if there was to be something similar which happened again, do you think, having gone through the experience we've all gone through, that the same thing would occur, or do you think people would be more likely to push back?
Well, of course, I think people would realize the first time shutting down during the pandemic was not the best choice for our country. And yes, if this happens again, which I'm sure it will, because there are viruses, we've had this before. Like I said, SARS didn't just come around in 2020. We've had other issues with sudden acute respiratory syndrome. So yes, it's going to happen again. And the next time it happens, they're not going to be able to bamboozle the people. They will be able to shut stuff down. They will be able to give people vaccines again, for sure. But we're going to be a lot more cognizant and ask the appropriate questions and hopefully get the appropriate answers and not let this same thing happen. I really, really find it hard to believe that they could do this to the extent that they did it the first time ever again. But will they do it again? Will there be other pandemics and viral issues? Yes, but a lot of people woke up from this first one.
Yeah, I hope so, because definitely here in Australia, for a country that is renowned for its larrikins, oh my God, were we very, very compliant, and frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Now, lastly, there have been calls for Trump's face to be included on Mount Rushmore. Should it happen, or should we just wait and see first?
No, it needs to happen. They need to put him on the $100 bill. They need to pump Trump up. And honestly, I know this is kind of a comical thing to put him on Mount Rushmore, but honestly, I wouldn't. I would love it. I wouldn't disapprove of it. I would approve of it wholeheartedly. Are they going to actually do it? I don't know. But Donald Trump deserves, and especially after this 4 years, to be treated like the legend that he is. And in my opinion, I think he won 3 elections, not just 2. I don't really believe a lot of the mail-in ballots when it came into the 2020 election. So he's one of the only presidents, in my opinion, to win 3 elections. So he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore just because of that fact alone.
Thank you so much for your time, Alex Stein.